Now I want to step back for just a moment and look again at this getSetting function in the functions.php file. This structure that we're using, where we're using a function in order to get to the setting, is something that you would probably arrive at, a solution that you would come up with after a couple of iterations. In the first iteration, what you'd probably do is pull out those settings into variables and put them in the index.php file. But the problem with using variables directly inside of this context is that if somebody uses a variable that has the same name as the variable that we're using for the setting, then it will override that variable. And so by the time we get to company name, if maybe we've adjusted it in our content somewhere else in the script, then the company name may be different when we get to that point in the footer. That's not necessarily very likely for company name, but as you start to use settings, you'll notice that the number of items there will grow, and the chances of accidentally overriding an existing defined variable grows with it. So one solution to make this a little bit easier is by compiling all of the variables into an array, just like we did in our settings.php file. So if you imagine, we can actually use this settings array inside of our index.php file and not separate it out at all. Or we could include the settings.php file inside of our index.php file. But the problem there is that we still have this variable called settings that could accidentally get overridden by some of our other scripts. So the ultimate solution is to make it so that we don't have a variable that can be overridden at all. And so we do that by wrapping a function around the variables. So in our functions.php file, we have our getSetting function, and in it, we pull in this settings variable that's in our settings.php file. Now this settings variable only exists in the context of this variable here, so nothing can override it. And that makes it completely safe. So I just wanted to walk you through that because I wanted to illustrate how this pattern is really the outcome of trying other patterns and finding it failing on occasion.